right, we give praise, esteem, and honor to the living Elohim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach this day. Let's pick this up in John 5, verse 39. So search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and they are they which testified me, and you will not come to me to life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. I come in my Abba's name, but you receive me not. But another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one of another, and not the honor that comes from Elohim only? Do not think that I will accuse you. The Abba, there's one that accused you, even Moses, in whom you trust. But had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how should you believe my words? Proverbs chapter 26. You can go straight to 23.
Hey. Come here. This
Burning lips as a wicked heart are like a potsherd, covered with silver dross. He that hate dissemble with his lips and lay up deceit within it. When he speak fair, believe him not. For there are 7 abominations in his heart, whose hatred is covered by deceit. His wickedness shall be showed before the whole congregation. Whoso dig a pit shall fall therein. He that roll a stone, it will return upon him. A lying tongue hate those that are afflicted by it, and a flattering mouth work ruin. Let's return to Esther chapter 3. Oh, I see. It's going to be some whoopings tonight. It's going to be some whoopings tonight. Yeah, because y'all like to push your luck. Let's return to verse 8 in the 3rd chapter. Batman, silence yourself. And Haman said unto King Xerxes, there's a certain people scattered abroad, dispersed among all the people and all the provinces of your kingdom. The laws are diverse from all people, neither kept they the king's laws, therefore it is not the king's profit to suffer them. If he's the king, let it be written that they may be destroyed. I will pay them 10,000 talents of silver to the hands of those that have charge of this business, and to bring it into the king's treasuries. The king took his ring from his hand and gave it unto Haman, the son of Hammedatha the Agagite, the Yahudim's enemy. Let's just take a look at Haman real quick. Like, when you look at Haman, his name means magnificent. Magnificent. His father's name means double. And if their nationality is Agagite, it means I will overtop. He's a descendant of Agag. So you got somebody who's double in magnificence, and that he is of a nation that will overtop or will overpower. See, now let's continue and just keep that in mind. The king said unto Haman, the silver is given to you, the people also to do with them as it seemed good to you. Then were the king's scribes called on the 13th day of the 1st month, and there was written according to all that Haman had commanded unto the king's lieutenants, to the governors that were over the province, and to the rulers of every people and every province, according to the writing thereof, to every people after their language. And the name of King Xerxes was it written, and it was sealed with the king's ring. The letters were sent by post into all the king's provinces to destroy, to kill, and to cause to perish all Yahudim, both young and old, little children and women in one day. And upon the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month of Adar, to take spoil for them for a prey. So now it has been given. Let's look at destroy and kill. Destroy, you should know, it is shamad, which is literally to exterminate, to annihilate, to destroy. Hush, boy. Hush. Now we already know Paris is to kill his harag, and that is to slay. So they want to kill and destroy and exterminate and slay all the Yahudi. Now we've already established this. Let's establish it again. Are you okay over there? Can you breathe? You know they said they finna have vaccines for everybody by May. You gonna go get you one? You bet not. Y'all ain't watching when the William Dr. R tried to bully her. She wasn't with us. He said, so you know a lot of people listen to you. He said, I'm not getting that. I don't trust it. He said, what do you don't trust? I ain't getting it. She said, I don't get a flu shot. I'm not getting it. He tried to get it. He said he was trying to say something slick, but she cut him off. It sounded like he said, that's what it looked like he wanted to say. Revelation 12, man, verse 14. That's what it said. They said they got some more. They said everybody can be vaccinated by May. You need to take the shot. Texas says, screw all that junk, nigga. We back open. No mask, no nothing. Leave us alone. 12 and 14, and to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place where she is nourished for a time and a half a time from the face of the serpent. Michael, do you know what that means? A times and a half a time? Huh? Do you know? It says it shall be for a time and times and a half a time from the face of the serpent. Do you know what that means? Do you know how long a period of time that is? Come up in man. The muffin man. Huh? It's okay if you don't know, baby. It's okay. It's 3.5 years. A time is a year. Times is 2 years. A half a time is 6 months. So when you see times, and a half a time, that's 3.5 years. It's only used in relation to the end when you actually see that mentioned. A times, and a half a time. And that is 40. You'll see it mentioned in other places. It's 42 months and 1,290 days. That's how long the beast is going to have reign. Have you ever been told the time of tribulation will be 7 years? Bold face lie straight out some white man butthole. No, man. In here. Because the text doesn't. What they try to do is they try to say it's a 3.5 year period of rapture and then a 3.5 year period of tribulation. But the text does not bear witness to that. The text only states that the beast is going to have 3.5 years to rule, and that's it. That time of trouble. No, does the time of trouble necessarily begin on day 1 of his rule? Not necessarily. But he got 42 months to do whatever it is that he want to do. So that's simply that. There's no 7 years. You know what I'm saying? Because people feel like, okay, we got 3.5 years to get right. Oh no, you supposed to have been peeping the signs and got right for it. If you wasn't right for it and you started seeing scenes creep in the wrong direction, you supposed to already let me go ahead and get my soul together because it looks like it's going to be real niggerish out here. So yes, that's what that means. That's what it said right there. That now that particular passage is referring to those who will be delivered from the great temptation to try the whole world and get done off. Doesn't say how many people going. That's the Hebrews version of a rapture. We all going to the wilderness. Everybody ain't going. Matter of fact, he told you in Revelation 3 who were going. Let me come back over here to Revelation 3 so you can see who going. See, everybody don't fit this parameter. Down. Revelation 3 and 7. We read it the other day. We'll read it again. Oh, so y'all getting talked to one time too many. I'm trying to focus, but I'm gonna have to focus my foot in y'all butthole. I see that what's gonna have to happen. Revelation 3 and 7, and to the Malachim of the house in Philadelphia, write. These things saith he that is Kadosh, he that is true, he that hath the key of David, he that opened and no man shut, and shut and no man open. I know your works. Behold, I've set before you an open door, no man can shut it. For you have a little strength and have kept my word and have not denied my name. So, boom, first thing first, those who are going to get that opportunity will not deny the man's name. Secondly, remember we talked about the little bit of strength, they got a little bit of faith. You know what? Since I said it, because I don't need no excuse. Isaiah chapter 26. Jeremiah, James, Bird. You got to sit upon your bottom, son. On your bottom. And you know what you got to do after that, James Bird? You got to open your ears and hearken. You know what hearken means? It means you got to listen, not cheese, listen. Because if you don't want to listen, you hear that pot sizzling, I'm going to put you in it. and we're gonna have grilled Mari for dinner. Would you like to be for dinner? I didn't think so. Isaiah chapter 26. In that day shall this song be sung in the land of Yehuda. We have a strong city. Salvation will Elohim appoint for walls and bulwarks. Open you the gates that the righteous nation which keep the truth may enter in. You will keep him in perfect shalom, whose mind is stayed on you because he trusts in you. Trust you in Yahuwah forever, for in Yahuwah is everlasting strength. See, this is why these people, come on back to Revelation 3. This is why they kept his word and they ain't denied his name. Because a little bit of strength is better than zero. He say, I know your works. Okay, I read that. Verse 9. Behold, I will make them of the house of the synagogue of Hashatan, which say they are Yahudim and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them come to worship before your feet and to know that I have loved you. See, now y'all should have a better understanding of what this means. The reason being is because we've already discussed in Daniel 11 that what is going to happen. The people who forsake the Kadash covenant and make intelligence with him are the people who say that Yahuwah is their Elohim. So they're going to say they're Yahudim while they serving this stinking bastard, but they're not. And Yahushua has let you know that he will slaughter these people and he will cause these people to come and bow down at your feet. If you don't recall what passage this comes from, let me take you and remind you. In Isaiah chapter 65, if you would. Let me remind you. Hey, who playing with the dough? Little Joe, you must want to go out the dough. Get off of it. Get off of it, boy. Oh, so you want to be defiant. Someone go over there and chastise him swiftly. And now you want to move when you see the wrath is coming. Go sit down. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. 65 and 8. Mm-hmm. Hush your mouth. Your daddy gonna get you, boy. You get a haircut, you don't know what to do. That boy get a haircut, he don't know what to do. Isaiah 65 and 8. Thus saith Yahuwah, as the new wine is found in the cluster, and one say, destroy it not, for a blessing is in it. So will I do for my servant's sake, that I may not destroy them all. And I will bring forth a seed out of Jacob and out of Yehuda, inheritor of my mountains. My elect shall inherit, and my servant shall dwell there. Sharon shall be a fold of the flocks. You should remember that about Sharon. He told you about that in the book of Hosea. When he told you that he give you the valley of Achor, door of hope, if you would. And he's about to tell you that. In the valley of Achor, a place for the herds to lie down in, for my people that have sought me. But you are they that forsake Yahuwah, that forgot my Kadash mountain, that prepare a table for that truth, and that furnish the drink offering unto that number. See, Paul. See, let's talk about it. Come over here to 1 Corinthians, I believe. I want to say 11. Silence, boy.
Went to that number.
What you talking about?
We say we'll furnish the drink offering to that number from 60.
Oh no, he talking about this number of people. They hanging out, trying to break bread with the Fed. That's what they run there doing. Being evil. I'll tell you that, because the number there just gonna be simply something that relates to number, which it is. Monet. It means fate or fortune. A god of fate who the Jews worship in Babylonia. So this is an idol. Monet. So when it tells you that it furnished to that number, that should not be there. It shouldn't be number. It should be Monet. Meniy. Mean, noon, and yod. The god of fate or fortune. Let's look him up. A portioner. Well, ain't that something? Look at that, Kira. And you was talking about devil's luck. And there you go. I ain't never heard nobody say a nigga got devil's luck. That's rough. These niggas came and gave me the God mean. I didn't ask for no God mean. Okay, he's got a different name. They give him a different name. Because all they giving me is Nabu and Marduk. And we talk about Marduk. That's the patron god of Babylon. King of the gods. He presided over justice, compassion, healing, regeneration, magic, and fairness. He's the storm god and an agricultural deity. He ain't coming up. It must not be too much information on him.
I told y'all what asking your mama to go to the bathroom. Sit down, be quiet until he's finished. Do you understand? Go.
Yeah, there ain't too much information on Buddy. We ain't finna keep looking. 1 Corinthians chapter 11. I'm sorry, chapter 10. 1 Corinthians chapter 10. You can pick it up at about verse 14. 1 Corinthians 10 and 14. Wherefore, my dearly beloved, flee from idolatry. I speak as the wise men judge what I say. The cup of blessing which we bless, is it not the communion of the blood of Mashiach? The bread which we break, is it not the communion of the body of Mashiach? For we being many are one bread and one body, for we are all partakers of that one bread. Behold, Yasharal after the flesh. So who is he talking to? He ain't talking to those who've been born of the other nations that joined into Yahushua. He talking to natural born Jews. Let's look what he says after that. Are not they which eat of sacrifices partakers of the altar? What say I then? That the idol is anything, or that which is offered in sacrifice to an idol is anything? So what is he asking? Is an idol anything? Yes or no? No. So then the food offered to it, is it anything? Yes or no? So he said, you know that it's absolutely pointless. Look at his next statement. But I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils and not to Elohim. And I would not that you should have fellowship with devils. You cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of devils. You cannot be a partaker of the Lord's table and the table of devils. Do we provoke the Lord to jealousy? Are we stronger than he? That's what you see going on over here in Isaiah chapter 65. Let's return. Let's read verse 11 again. They wanted to sit down and have and partake with devils. Be quiet. What are you looking crazy for? What's your problem? Why are you crying? Why are your eyes watering? Because that's what they do. Oh, you have allergies? Very well. Good response. So you are they that forsake Yahuwah, that forget my Kadash mountain, that prepare a table for that truth, and that furnish the drink offering unto Meneh. Now, truth here is not Gad in the instance of what we used to Gad with. This is a Babylonian deity of fortune whose name is Gad. God. I would have said, you saying God, you talking about the Babylonian deity. God. You like this here? But at the end of the day, who are these people doing it to? They're giving it up to a God who what? Breaks bread. Let's go on over here to Matthew chapter 4. Let's see who they like to fool with. And God we trust. Because we trust the Babylonian deity fortune. We trust Monet. Huh? Monet. Monet. And Monday. That's why all these hoes around here talking about they name such and such Monet. Your mama ain't name you Monet, ho. Your middle name Carol. From God. They is gonna be worse than God. So is. Forward. Matthew chapter 4 and verse 8. Again, the devil take him up into an exceeding high mountain and show him all the kingdoms of the world and the esteem of them. You know what I read is one of this ain't the one I want. And say unto him, all these things will I give you if you fall down and worship me. Then say, who shall unto him get you hence, Hashatan, for it is written, you shall worship Yahuwah your Elohim, and him only shall you serve. So guess what you know about Satan? Yahuwah his Elohim too.
No.
He just don't like to listen. Luke chapter 4, because Luke 4, what I want. Yeah, Luke 4, what I want. 4 and 5, because that's when Satan talk. You know, everybody love to describe stuff to the devil. He don't even talk that much. Talk for what? Boop. Boop. It is interesting, Kira, that it lines up with that idiom. When Kira was talking about devil's luck talking about devil's fortune. You around here messing with God and money. God and money. Bah. Bah. That's your God. I got something for that too. Come on with it. We come around the corner. Luke chapter 4. He said, the devil taking him up into a high mountain showed unto him all the kingdoms of the world in a moment of time. And the devil said unto him, all this power will I give you in the esteem of them, for that is delivered unto me, and to whomsoever I will give it. If you therefore will worship me, all shall be yours. Yahushua answered him and said unto him, get behind me, Hashatan, for it is written, you shall worship Yahuwah your Elohim, and only him shall you serve. You know why he keep telling him to get behind him? Why do you think he's telling you to get behind him? Because remember what Yahuwah said about Yasharal, you gave me the back and not the front. I mean, I don't fool with you. I get you give somebody your back, you done with them. Get behind me, boy, I don't fool with you, boy. Get your sucker behind out my face. What he trying to win? I'm the God of war. I give you some money. That's why you see it. That's why dudes all sit on down, because you done lost your privilege. I told y'all some rude little churn, and your arrogance offends me. Malik, get yourself together. Fat man, get yourself together over there. Ain't no climbing. Ain't no climbing. Nah, get that cover off your head, son. Show yourself. Muffin, you better sit down properly.
Son, go sit down.
Y'all ain't got nothing to ask about or talk about. If you got to go to the bathroom, just get up and go to the bathroom. You're not babies. Other than that, sit down, listen, and be quiet. See, that's your problem. You thinking you could get up out of anything. I didn't ask a question. I didn't ask a question. You're going to question this whooping you're going to get. How about you ask that question? We tired of it. Fed up. At our limit. Y'all going to learn some good doggone behavior in here. That's what you're going to do. Believe if you don't sit your happy behind down somewhere. What? Over there cheating and whatnot. See, look at this here, right? What? Matthew chapter 6, right? I think I want about what verse 20, son? And then from that, 1 Timothy chapter 6 on general principle. Yeah, see, Kira had dropped in the chat something about where did the term devil's luck come from, a term of that I've never heard in my life. I've definitely heard the luck of the Irish. But you know, devil's luck is a type of luck I don't think you want. Matthew 6 and 19, I don't think you want that kind of luck. I don't want no luck that comes from the devil. I remember a long time ago, for me and my homeboy Skyler, we went to Popeyes, hit the drive through. That lady said, would you like to try out wicked chicken? He said, oh, no, man. We don't want nothing wicked. No, we don't want nothing wicked. It's just funny how he said, man, we don't want nothing wicked. He said, you want this? Would you like to try out wicked chicken? Matthew 6 and 19, lay not up yourself. And this is also important because what was Haman trying to do to kill the Yahudi? He was trying to get money to do it. He got paid off to do it. He asked for bread to do it. What did Judas do? Go ahead and you sat at that table for that truth. To get this money, because money is my God. See, ain't nothing wrong with you wanting to get some money, but a lot of niggas worship money. A lot of people feel you got a lot of people of very low character that feel like money validate them. Well, it's a lot of sucker niggas with money. That's why I never used to trip off niggas. That nigga got money, but that nigga a buster though. Nigga a whole out there. Women want you. That nigga ain't because he got some money, but women know that. But most of the dudes who got money out here in the hurt for them niggas is lame. Not very many solid individuals, irregardless of race. This ain't no black people thing. That are solid people who got money. Handful. I told you this for years because I learned this as a jit. What all money does is magnify the type of person you were before you got it. People say, my money changed him. That money ain't changed that nigga. You just didn't know him that well. He didn't know he had a proclivity to such things until he got that bread, which, of course, the text bears witness to that. The more money you got, the more lust you exposed to. You got a problem with women, money going to open you up to get more women. Because I just seen a clip where the woman who was married to Tyrese was saying, don't get no famous man. And she went and broke it down. She said, famous men got demands. They got to figure the litter. You know what I'm talking about? She said, because matter of fact, she said, since we on this high value talk, because a lot of women don't want to realize that. Well, there's a lot of dudes with no bread. So you got 10 dudes and 10,000 women fighting for 10 dudes. And you think this nigga's not going to pick out who he want? And he can slay right through a lot of vaginas at this point. But he already knows. It's more y'all than it is to him. He don't have to have any manner of integrity if he doesn't, it ain't already in. He don't have to have it. And every man who got money didn't get it through unscrupulous means either. You got some people who ain't got no scruples. Niggas, just seen dudes talking about a nigga ain't paid them by their bread. You got a lot of people who got money who don't like to pay.
Oh, yeah, I pick that. Like I said, a lot of niggas lame. They got money by and more. Slime balling their way to the top.
Slime balling their way to the top. You can always tell the people who got their money on the up and up. People like Kyle, they don't mind breaking bread. And they don't mind giving the information they got for free. Now, they may not be like, oh, you can call me up and pick my brain. But they definitely don't mind making themselves useful to other people. Yeah, they don't mind. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, for the most part, we done already had this conversation. And Proverbs chapter 30 already show you that. Definitely. You know what I'm talking about? They say, give me food convenient for me. Because some people get rich, boy. And that junk get ugly now. Matthew chapter 6, verse 19. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon the earth, where moth and rust do corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. Lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust do corrupt, and where neither thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, your heart will be also. The light of the body is the eye, therefore your eye should be single. Your whole body shall be full of light. But if your eye be evil, your whole body shall be full of darkness. If therefore that light that is in you be darkness, how great is that darkness? No man can serve two masters, for he either will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve Elohim and Mammon. You ain't going to be able to do both. See, that's what Yasharal was trying to do in Isaiah 65. See, that's how the beast going to get a lot of niggas toss a little money out here. That's why them white folks try to use incentives to get you to get them vaccines. The easiest way to get people is to manipulate them with money, but most of you broke and you greedy. One thing I know, most people in this world get conned because they greedy. You know what I'm talking about? That's what a con man will play to, is your greed. That's how the pastors be getting all these people in the church. So you will see, and you'll get $10,000 back. You so greedy for money, you ain't even realize nigga lying to you. You know what I'm talking about? But truth be told, you know he lying to you. But you hoping in your greed that you can get that money back. You know what I'm saying? That's how people keep getting got with that. Send us 400, you get back 10. And niggas send you friend requests on Instagram for this. And say to you and lie to you and call it a business opportunity. How do people get got with that? Because you greedy. See, we expect old folks to get got because they ain't got a lot of sense. You know what I'm saying? No, when you're old, you ain't got no kids in the house, you sit around watching reruns of Heat Night and all that other type of stuff. Somebody go to talking to you real fast and real smooth. You're like, well, it sounds okay, baby.
You might have a couple points.
You know what I'm saying? I send it to you, baby. You expect that for them because they mental acuity ain't always where it's supposed to be at. You know what I'm talking about? But boy, if you under 50 and you get got, you ought to be shamed. You know what I'm saying? Because you should be shamed because you let your greed get you, because that's greed. That's greed. Anytime I've been in anything and somebody, I done told you this before. I done told a couple of this before. If you come to me with a situation and you leave with money, how much money I can make, I already don't want to hear no more. Because anybody I done met who do any type of business don't leave first with how much money you gonna make. They're gonna tell you, this is what we trying to do. This is what it's gonna take to get done. This is how much money gonna have to be put into it, and this is how much money we anticipate getting back. If a nigga leave with, we can make thousands of hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars, he capping. He capping. All that stuff they trying to get you. That's why all these niggas around here selling Herbalife and flat tummy tea and all this stuff. You let a nigga talk you into spending money on some products don't nobody want.
Believe. Go sit down. Yeah.
What I mentioned, man.
Sit down.
First Timothy chapter 6. But for the man.
Sit down.
Remember. First Timothy, shoot, make it 6 and 3. It said, if any man teach otherwise and consent not to wholesome words, even the words of our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, and to the doctrine which is according to godliness. So first and foremost, you should not be listening to anybody who is not coming with good words, even the words that Yahushua himself said, which is the entirety of Genesis to John. If they ain't talking that, they ain't talking nothing. We just talked about that last week. If they don't speak according to this word, then there is no light in them. He say to the law and that testimony. So if they ain't speaking them, they ain't speaking good words. Let that be known. And the doctrine that's according to the fear of Elohim. Remember, great is the mystery of godliness. So if they ain't talking about that, they ain't talking about nothing. He say he is proud, knows nothing, but doting about questions and strife of words. Wherefore come envy, strife, railings, and evil surmises. And you wonder why so many brews be fighting, arguing, and going back and forth. Are they speaking wholesome words on a regular basis? I think not. That's why you got so much strife. That's why you got so much evil. And that's why you have so many dudes thinking evil things against one another. Matter of fact, this brother called me earlier, told me he had some chick look at him. I don't like him. He hates women. I like to say, I say, well, this is what you do. You give her, you send her a message and you say, you get on the phone, ask your question, right? She said, no, we don't serve the same God because he said you would and not hide. See, I ain't got no time to even fool or entertain with nobody of that low degree of intelligence. You know what I'm saying? No, the reason why I say that is this, not because she's a woman, but because she has a low degree of intelligence. Because if you problem with some, because she was saying he ain't my pastor. See, I understand the thought process. This is why I mentioned it. Those brews feel like if somebody who preached the word say, oh, you can come holler at me, they think you're trying to recruit. Because she said he alleged, she said, oh, he's just a camp leader. I don't understand that. See, you're not familiar with that. See, these boys know. I could talk to somebody and don't even tell them, oh, you can come roll with us. I don't care where you go, truth be told. You know what I'm saying? Just get you some word. You want to come buy from this trap house, then shoot, by all means. I got to know for you. But if you want to buy from the trap house around the corner, I ain't going to be like, what you going over there for? Ain't none of my business. You know what I'm saying? But you know, like I know, at more brews, they try to recruit you. Come over here and roll with us. So I'm knowing that's what she thinking when I told him, oh, yeah, man, she want to know what it is. You know what I'm talking about? You come holler at me. You ain't got to do no guessing. See, I'm mentioning this here because we don't recruit nobody. You can roll and you can slide. Ain't gonna make me no difference. You know why? Because I'm gonna still be serving mine. Mine's still getting served. So it don't make no difference. You know why it don't make no difference? Because it wasn't nobody but me, Muffin, and Nail. It wasn't number 3 people. It wasn't nobody in the house. That's it. So why would I care about trying to recruit a nigga? See, we're not trying to recruit you to an organization. We're trying to recruit you to your God so you can be saved. It ain't about getting recruited. But see, that's where people get the game twisted. But I understand, because you got to understand, I know where people coming from. Like, when the first time I was told dudes have church rolls, and your name got to be on the roll to be, I'd never heard of such a thing, because I've never been to church. I ain't know. You ever been on a church roll? You ever been on one?
I don't know what that is.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Being on the church roll. Dudes told me, like, when you've been a member of church, they write your name somewhere.
Oh, yeah, yeah, remember.
Yeah, you know.
Directly.
I guess that's what they call it. I was told it was called a roll. I'm unfamiliar. I'm not, it's not, never been there. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I have been told, like, okay, you remember your name written down somewhere. And I'm like, well, shoot, when I look at the text, these people ain't had nobody's name written nowhere. They hit the synagogue and they slid. You know what I'm saying? Come through, slide through. It ain't no, I baptize you, you got to be here soon. That's why Paul told him, are you of Cephas? Or of Paul? Or of Barnabas? Are you not carnal? Do you not argue as men? He said, I'm glad I ain't baptized none of y'all except for a couple people at the house. You know what I'm talking about? That's where that stuff come from. Because you go to the beginning of the day, I'm part of this group and that group, so I don't fool with you because I'm of this person. Can a person birth you in the gospel? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, you really belong to the Lord. You don't belong to the individual because the individual who birthed you in the word belongs to the person who he was birthing you into. But I mean, I'm just mentioning that because I understand the mindset of the average person. Because I was just telling him that when he mentioned it. Oh, baby just said all that because she thinking you don't try to recruit him. You know what I'm saying? Baby, I'm not trying to recruit you. You said you had an issue or you didn't understand something. Look, I talked to him because she asked him, you explain it to me. He like, man, nigga, I don't teach word. Well, baby, all you got to do is you can come directly to the source. You ain't got to have no questions. And you can go lay down and be peaceful at night. You know what I'm talking about? That's all you got to do. But y'all know that most people don't want to do that because when they had a problem with the Lord, did they go holler at him? They didn't want to come holler at him. You know, and the reason why I say that is because they didn't want the clarity on what he was talking about. No. You know what I'm saying? You just wanted to have fault and issue with something, and that just opened your door to be able to do so. So you have to know that and understand that and not get agitated or frustrated because most of the time people don't want to know the word. They don't want to understand it. They just want to talk. 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 5. Perverse disputings, men of corrupt minds, destitute of the truth, supposing that gain is godliness, from such withdraw yourself. So if somebody's around here making you believe that if you increase monetarily or materially, that's godliness, just know to leave them alone. But godliness with contentment is great gain. So if you have the fear of Elohim and you content with such things that you have, there's a great level of profit for that. For we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain that we can carry nothing out. Having food and raiment, let us be therewith content. But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which draw men into destruction and perdition. For the love of money is the root of all evil. While some have coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. But you, O men of Elohim, flee these things and follow after righteousness, godliness, faith, love, patience, meekness, fight the good fight of faith, lay hold on eternal life, whereunto are also called and have professed a good profession before many witnesses. Let's look at these many sorrows that they're going to pierce themselves through. Zephaniah chapter 1. And then we'll go back to Isaiah 65. Well, cut it out. Cut it out. He ain't even shed no tears. Now you're just pretending. No. Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 14. The great day of Yahuwah is near, and it is near and haste greatly, even the voice of the day of Yahuwah. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of a trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. And I will bring distress upon men that they shall walk like blind men, because they sinned against Yahuwah, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh is dumb. Neither shall their silver nor their gold be able to deliver them in the day of Yahuwah's wrath. But the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, and he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. See, now we're going back, because that's going to reference us back to Haman. Because you thinking that day your money going to get you up out of this. And it ain't, because that's the many sorrows you're going to get pierced with. Because he said, you rich men, how? That's what the Apostle James told you about. He said, because you done held back by fraud and deceit those who have been reaping in your harvest. Which, of course, you know what our law tells us to do, to not defraud a man in his wages. You know what I'm talking about? And I would even see some brews take it further. Or they pay you every 2 weeks. They didn't defraud you because you agreed to that. See, that's the stuff that I don't be liking. When dudes be trying to assign sin where sin does not go. If a job come tell you that I'm gonna pay you every 2 weeks and you agree to that, is that fraud? If a job tell you that I'm going to pay you $15 an hour, is that fraud? Because you know what you didn't have to do? You don't have to take them people's job. If they tell you they were going to pay you every day, but then they don't pay you every day and don't alert you why they not paying you every day, that ain't right. You know what I'm saying? That ain't right. Because that man, like the text say, that man done set his heart on them wages. That's his money. He done earned it. Where is it at? See, it's one thing if you say, hey, something came up, I ain't got it. Or you got the man money, but you don't want to pay him. But that's also because most people don't understand business. Most people in business can't pay you till they get paid. But guess what? If you any type of businessman, you're going to pay your people whether you got paid or not. But see, most people don't know that because they think if you run a business, you just got loads and loads of cash. I told a couple of people who work for me, they was like, well, you ain't got paid for that yet. I'm like, no, sir. So these people ain't paid me since September. Nigga, it was January. Nigga looking at me crazy. Yes, you still have to be paid, sir. You know what I'm saying? The bills don't stop. You thinking, oh, you finished something, nigga, cut your check and send it to you. No, not unless you're dealing with private people. That's not how business works. Now just imagine if you're dealing in retail or something like this here, or even on a bigger scale with clothing, because the clothing you send it to the store, you gotta wait for them. People ain't gonna pay you 6 to 9 months later. And guess what? You still got to get clothes made and pay everybody who make them. But people don't know that though. You know what I'm talking about? They just see money coming, so you got to have it. No, I don't have anything. That's why you see most people who have businesses and they end up getting some money. It took them a very long time to be indiscriminately wealthy if they ever achieve that. Again, you got some people take shortcuts who are slime balls, but we're not talking about them. Not talking about the slime balls. 65 and 11, Isaiah. Yeah, that was it. That was all you needed. Verse 11, but you that forsake who that forget my Kadash mount and prepare a table for that truth, and that furnish the drink offering unto that number. Therefore I will number you to the sword, and you shall bow down to the slaughter, because when I called, you did not answer, and when I spake, you did not hear, but did evil before my eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not. Now, of course, the word number here is manah, or manna, which y'all should know, which is to count or to reckon. So you can see that when he say you numbered in that one there, strictly a deity. Therefore, thus saith you, Elohim, behold, my servants shall eat, and you shall be hungry. Behold, my servants, but you shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but you shall be ashamed. Behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart, but you shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. Come here, boy. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come here, mother man. Come here. Mother man, if I have to come hit you, I'm going to hit you, boy. Very well, then. Have it your way. Now you can sit down. That's what you chose. Because I was going to sit you over here. But you chose to be stubborn. Silence your mouth. Silence your mouth. Because you think somebody care about what you want. Care about your attitude, boy. Now get yourself together. Now come here. Come here. Come here. Come here, boy. Get yourself together. Come on. Get yourself together. Ain't nothing wrong with you. Your pride hurt, but that's about it. Sleeping. Yeah, he definitely asleep, Bucker. You tired? You hungry?
Isaiah.
You definitely tired.
Isaiah. Isaiah.
What happened to him? Come on here, boy. Let's go. Boy, if I got to get up, I'm going to take this belt off. So come on over here. Oh, there go your daddy. Unfortunate for you. Isaiah 65. Mm-hmm. Stop. Verse 14. Get down and sit down. Sit down. Oh, you decided to grace us with your presence, huh? You niggas fashionably late, huh? That ain't even fashionable. It's just rude. Just rude. And then he came in here with a UPS shirt on. Just rude. Just rude. 65 and 14. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy, but you shall cry for sorrow of heart, and you shall howl for vexation of ruach, and you shall leave your name for a curse unto my chosen, for Yahuwah Elohim shall slay you and call his servants by another name. So this is why you see Yahoo, you say that you are Yahudim and are not, but you're lying. Because this does not sound like he's going to make the people bow down and worship at your feet so that you can know that he loved you, because these people are going to reject you. I'm trying to remember. I like to say I'm missing a spot. I always forget this. No water, sir. Let's come back over here to the chapter 3. And this is all because a certain group of people want to exterminate you, for whom you serve, because they despise him. It's really just that simple. I'm going to read verse 13 of Esther chapter 3 one more time. I look at you like I need to do something. That boy that's aggressive. And the letters were sent by post into all the king's provinces to destroy, to kill, and to cause to perish. Remember what it said about Satan? He comes to steal, kill, and to destroy. Haman is working in that same avenue. What is the beast going to come to do? To steal, kill, and to destroy. And to destroy and to kill and to perish all Yahudim, both young and old, little children, women in one day, even upon the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month Adar, to take spoil of them for a prey. A copy of the writing for a commandment to be given in every province, published unto all the people. They should be ready against the day. The post went out, being hastened by the king's commandment, and the decree was given in Shushan the palace. And the king and Haman sat down to drink, but the city of Shushan was perplexed. When you look at perplexed, it's boot, they were confused. What makes you think that they're confused? Why you want to kill these people? The same way that we read in John chapter 7, that some of the people were confused, or what's the word it said? Divided over Yahusha. See, there's going to be people that are in the time of the beast that they're going to be quite confused. Why are they doing that to these people? But yet, you know what most people do in that situation? Turn their head. Come over here to Esther chapter 4. You can pick it up at verse 1. When Mordecai perceived all that was done, Mordecai rent his clothes, put sackcloth with ashes, and went out in the midst of the city and cried with a loud and bitter cry. Now, look at this here, right? Now, in years past, we done looked and showed you how Esther was Yahusha and Mordecai is. We're just focusing on one. We're not really going to focus on that. But when you see him going outside the city and giving out a loud, bitter cry, this is what should come to your mind. First and foremost, Hebrews chapter 13. Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 10. We have an altar whereof they have no right to eat. We serve the tabernacle. For the bodies of those beasts whose blood is brought into the sanctuary by a high priest for sin are burned without the camp. Wherefore Yahushua also, that he might sanctify the people with his own blood, suffered without the gate. See, Mordecai was willing to suffer outside of the construct of Persia. Why? Let us go therefore unto him without the camp, bearing his reproach. For we have no continuing city, but we seek one to come. See, Mordecai wasn't concerned about the things that were going on in Persia and Medes and Persia. It didn't have anything to do with him in a particular instance. I want you to come over here now to pain was just in my brain. Oh yes, Luke chapter 24.
Be still.
Sit down, son. Not Luke 24. Luke 20, 23 and 44. It was about the 6th hour, and there was darkness over all the earth until the 9th hour. The sun was darkened, and the veil of the temple was rent in twain in the midst, And when Yahushua cried with a loud voice, he said, Abba, into your hands I commend my Ruach. And having said thus, he gave up the Ruach. The reason why I'm reading this from here in this regard is because both of these men exhibited the same thing. I was trusting Elohim during a time of distress. Come back over here to Esther chapter 4. And of course, Yahushua was outside the city at the time that he gave that loud cry. Verse 2 of Esther chapter 4. It came even before the king's gate, for none might enter into the king's gate clothed with sackcloth. In every province whatsoever the king's commandment and his decree came, there was a great mourning among the Yahudim, fasting, weeping, and wailing, and many lay in sackcloth and ashes. Now, what you got to understand is that this wasn't some clandestine plot to kill them. It was made known throughout the whole province of Bedes and Persia that all the Yahudim would be killed. So why is this important? Do you not think that the beast is not going to make it known that he's going to make war with the saints? Now, the difference between Haman and the beast is Haman did not overcome you. The beast will. That's what you have to understand. Haman did not overcome you. The beast is going to. But you have to understand that it's going to be akin to what's in Genesis 49 as what happened to Yahushua. That Gad, the truth overcame him, but he overcame at last. That's what you're going to have to understand when you're dealing with the beast and what he's going to do to the faithful ones. He is going to overcome you, but you're going to overcome at the last because you have to follow the same pattern that your master followed. And I know that you will not suffer your Kadash one to see corruption. Therefore, my flesh rests in hope, because you're not going to see corruption in the aspect of turning into dirt, but not suffer corruption in the aspect of being tormented with fire and worms. Because as we read the other night, he that overcome will not be hurt of the second death, which is of the greatest importance. Because those who are part of the first resurrection, the second death has no power. Let's continue in verse 4. Because, see, we're not going to read about all the stuff that he told Esther to do, because we got to get straight to the point. Come over here to verse 10 of chapter 4. Esther spake unto Hatach and gave him commandment unto Mordecai. All the king's servants and the people of the king's province do know that whosoever, whether man or woman, shall come into the king into the inner court, who is not called, there's one law of his to put him to death, except such as to whom the king hold out the golden scepter, that he may live. But I have been called to come in unto the king. I have not been called to come into the king these 30 days. See, now this takes you into something else. Of course, you know that nobody could go into the inner sanctum of the temple but whom? The high priest. Now you have a high priest to where now you can come into the altar of which you could not come into before to find grace in the time of need. See, let's come over to Hebrews chapter 4 just for that. Hebrews 4 and 12 is sufficient. For the word of Elohim is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and ruach and joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. Neither is there. See, even with that being said, what we read in Esther 3 and 8, the fact that we kept the word was a discerner of the thoughts and intents of Haman's heart. See, one thing that a lot of people, you know, who I think somebody, no, that was somebody else. But most dudes feel like these white folks know who he is. But that's irrelevant. The reason why it is irrelevant, because if I was talking to Brandon about it, he say, you know, he felt like the most unracist people are white people who go to church. But I said, that's a part of your upbringing. So the people who you were around that were Caucasian happen to be that way. So then you begin to just paint with a broad stroke that all of them are like that. So when you encounter racism, it confused you. You know what I'm saying? So I can get that, because that's what happens to a lot of black folks. If you around or your people taught you and raised you a certain type of way, because see, we were talking about the police. He was like, if the police did this or did this, what you gonna do? Straighten that crack. You know what I'm talking about? Because is any of y'all gonna let a black man disrespect you? You gonna let any dude in the street talk to you any kind of way? So why would I let the police do it? How most of us are taught to have fear for them. I can straighten this man because I'm a man first, because I don't care nothing about your dad. You got a job to do. I ain't got no problem with that. But what you're not going to do is talk to me like I've got a banana between my legs, my nigga, because I'm not with it. What if he get up in your face? What's wrong with his getter? I'm not finna back down. See, I had told him the story when I was in prison. A CO had the nerve to tell me don't look him in his eyes. And you know what I did? Looked him dead in his eyes and told him that's what men's supposed to do when they have a conversation, is it not? I'm going out my face. Yeah, that's what I thought. Do you know why he was saying to not look him in his eyes? Do you know what that's a sign of? No, not a coward. It's a sign of submission. Because see, women don't look men directly in the eyes. She will look away. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's her man or not. Women ain't finna hold no stare down with no dude. You know what I'm talking about? You're gonna look away. The not looking in the eyes is a sign of submission. So if you don't look me in my eyes, you acknowledging that you submit to me. Because I don't care nothing about your CO outfit or none of your homeboy. Boy. If you kill me, boy, you're gonna earn it. Because I'm gonna fight all of you. All of you. I'm not gonna sit here and let you beat me. You know what I'm talking about? You see these videos of these dudes letting the police beat on them? Absolutely not. Because once you done crossed over in the territory that you treat me like a nigga in the street, I must return the favor. You know why I say that? Because you don't care about if a nigga you size in the street got a pistol on you, but you worry about the police pistol, but you wasn't worried about the brother around the corner got no fire on. Because he might be walking with a fire on his hip too. You just see the police on, you don't see his, but you'll fight him though. You know what I'm talking about? You'll disrespect him, but you ain't gonna give him that same energy. I don't believe in that. We're both men. I'm not gonna inhibit this man from doing his job, but what you're not gonna do is you're not gonna disrespect my manhood. That's what you're not gonna do. I don't care about you being the police or none of that. That means absolutely nothing to me. And I done straightened a couple in my lifetime. Who is you talking to like that? I don't know who like that. We're both men here, sir. This is unacceptable. It's completely unprofessional, and I ain't with it. And if he want to fight, we can fight. Shoot, when that doggone crack when I was about 21, punched me in my stomach while he had me handcuffed, they gonna get on the report talking about he said you doing this because I'm black. I said, now why you gonna lie, crack? Because I don't even talk like that. Because that's victim talk. When you say you only doing this to me because I'm black, that's whole nigga talk. That's what victims say. I'm not a victim, so I don't talk like that. Told him straight up and down, you can take them handcuffs off, take your utility belt off, I'll give you a fade, you can take me to jail right on after that like nothing happened. Ain't got no problem with it. And you think a lot, my mama was standing right there when it happened. Told him you can take that belt off, I shoot your fade. It's nothing. You want to hit me while my hands are restrained? You're a coward of all cowards. So go ahead, let me give you what you're looking for. Because I don't care about you being no police officer. We're men here. I don't disrespect the police officer because he's a police officer. That's still a man. But see, you've been trained to think that he can disrespect you and you're supposed to bow down and take it. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Or you're going to give me some mutual respect. I don't care who you call, nigga. I was training all of them. See, we were talking about this the other day. That's what Ken was talking about. Saying dudes in corporate America don't usually succeed because they're agreeable. And the ones who usually succeed are the ones who are disagreeable, who speak their mind and don't go along to get along. Because I can't do it, boy. I can't speak for y'all. I can't do it. I ain't seen a white man walking this earth who put no fear in my heart to the point that I'm like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, screw you, cuz I'm a man just like you. And I would behoove you to teach your sons the same. That they should never look at them people as if they're superior to them, or that they should have any level of fear, trepidation, or nervousness towards them, police or not. There's a difference in having wisdom to know how to operate in situations and circumstances with people who don't know how to handle authority. It's also to understand that you better make sure you stand on your feet and die like a man, and don't be on your knees crying like no hoe. Straight up now, we've been taught to live on our knees and to be proud of it and to boast in it. Well, them days is over with. Ain't that right, Bird? All right. You gave it a thumbs up too? Hebrews 4:13. Neither is there any creature that is not manifested in sight, but all things are naked and open unto the eyes of him whom we have to do. And like those who are witnesses to this again is Is that not what Mordecai did to Haman? Did he sit around here and be submissive and subservient to this man? Absolutely not. See, you can conduct yourself with. See, you got to remember you're a man, and most importantly, you're a godly man. So there's a certain level of decorum and professionalism and honor that you conduct yourself with and you interact with other men with. But we don't tolerate disrespect. When did you see any of them Yahudim dealing with any nation or any people who had rule over them where they tolerated blatant and open disrespect? Have you read it? Have any of you seen where them boys tolerated blatant and open disrespect? So why should you? You know what I'm saying? Why should you? Seeing then that we have a great high priest that is passed into the heavens, Yahushua the son of Elohim, let us hold fast our profession. For we have not a high priest which cannot be touched with the feelings of our infirmities, but was all points tempted like as we are, yet sin. Let us therefore come boldly unto the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in the time of need. So guess what? Because that's what they step in to try to get to the king for, is to find what? Mercy and help in the time of what? Need. But they say you can't come into the king's gate unless he what? In a court unless he what? Call for you. So when Yahushua came out, and it tells you in Proverbs chapter 8 that the call of wisdom went out and said, hey, you simple ones, how long will you love simplicity? The minute that man stood in Matthew chapter 1 or Mark chapter 1 or whatever chapter you want to look at, and he say, repent and believe, because the kingdom of Elohim is at hand. The call them now, he calling you to come into the inner court. And that's what you just seen right here. Matter of fact, let's come over here to Hebrews 10 just for another witness in that regard that makes mention of that. Bird. Hebrews 10 and 10. Bird. Hebrews 10 and 10. By the which we are sanctified through the offering of the body of Yahushua HaMashiach once and for all. Every priest stand daily ministering, offering oftentimes the sacrifices, which can never take away sins. But this man, after he had offered one sacrifice for sins forever, sat down on the right hand of Elohim, from henceforth expecting until his enemies be made his footstool. For when by one offering he had perfected forever them that are sanctified. Whereof the Ruach HaKadosh also is a witness before us, that he said before, this is the covenant that I will make with them after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my laws into their hearts, and in their minds will I write them, and their sins and iniquities will I remember no more. Now where remission of these is, there is no more offering of sin. Having therefore, brethren, boldness to enter into the Kadash by the blood of Yahushua, by a new and living way, which he have consecrated for us through the veil, that is to say, his flesh. You see, now you got boldness to enter into somewhere where you couldn't enter into before. And also, let me say this here so this is clear. I'm not telling you to have no interactions with no police in no emotional fashion. You're supposed to have interactions with them as a man and conduct yourself as a man. All that screaming and hollering, what you can't do. See, that whole stuff, that's going to get you shot. Because you're acting like a woman, so you're not going to move. But you can definitely straighten a man without being emotional and let him know we both men here. I know some of you done did it before. If y'all had to let somebody know in your lifetime you was a man, and that the way that they were communicating with you would not be tolerated. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that shoe, why do they get a pass? Ain't no hard about it. I done told a couple of them, this will not be tolerated, so I would not allow it. I had a CEO tell me, I hate people from Jacksonville. I said, that sounds like a personal problem. You know what I'm talking about? You ain't finna put no fear in my heart, girl. Esther chapter 4, man. We're in verse 12. I didn't tell you that, man, because man, the time to be around here weak, man, bowing down to them folk, man, that junk been over. That junk been. I ain't even talking about bowing down to literally, I'm talking about bowing down in your heart, where you feel like these people are superior to you. And you walking around here with a victim mentality and an inferiority complex. Because every time you see them, you begin to adjust and shift how you view and conduct yourself, because you view them being greater than you. And they're not. They're just the ruling class in the land which you dwell. These people are not greater than you. Not to the point that you should fear them and belittle your manhood. And nor should you raise your sons to do the same. Because unfortunately, that's what we've been taught. And I ain't riding on the brother because I said, man, me and him done had that conversation several times before because that's what you was taught. I was not taught that. You know what I'm saying? So you were looking at them in a particular fashion. I can't knock this man for the information his people gave him. So of course, when he go out in the world, he's going to look at them in a particular fashion. I wasn't taught that, so I don't look at them like that. I've never feared a police officer in my life. For what? I'm not fearing no politician, no rich individual. You have to remember you're a man and you're capable of doing everything that they can do. You just have to have the desire, the commitment, and the discipline to do it. And that's it. You might have to work a tad bit harder because some of them might hate on you. But one thing I know, boy, if you dope good and your business good, 95% of white folk gonna shop with you and do business with you. They genuinely don't care. All that stuff, how they try to promote to you that they so racist and they hate you with a passion. Well, if you actually get around with it, that junk ain't as true as they want you to believe it is. It really ain't. Is there some of them out here who don't like black people? Absolutely. But for the most part, if that junk make business sense to them, well, they do not care. They will do business with you. I'm talking about they do stuff I haven't seen black folks don't never do. They be like, shit, come on to the house, man. We haven't done all that. They do not care. The only reason they do a lot of dudes like that because they see that you kissing they behind, they don't respect that. So they don't want you around them. This nigga's hard. They still men too. They know you ain't gonna be no yes man. That's what's up. What that nigga name is, who that nigga is riding on that dab. If you ain't acting like that nigga right there, they ain't gonna have no problem with you. They want you to be a man. State what you feel. State your opinion. And be who you supposed to be. Because they're men. Men respect that. Y'all ain't gonna respect no man who catered to you like this here. I'm finna smoke some crack. You smoke it, baby. You know that here to help you. You ain't respecting that. Like, nigga, I just told you to smoke some crack. You ain't got a problem with it. I go back for you if you want me to. She said, now I gotta get a new man. I'll be your huckleberry. No. Esther 4:13. Then Mordecai commanded to answer Esther. Think not with yourself that you shall escape in the king's house more than all the Yahudim. For if you altogether hold your shalom at this time, then there shall be an enlargement and a deliverance arise to the Yahudim from another place. Look at what he told. If you think you can go hide in the king's house and you're going to be spared, just know that Yahuwah is going to save us from another direction. Just let that be known. What did Yahushua tell? Let me give you the word for enlargement. Enlargement is ravak, and that is respite or relief. You got Raj, you got U, and you got Kai. Proceed. Raj, U, and Kai. That should be pretty easy for you. We finna get ready to wrap this up anyway. I said we got tomorrow. Y'all willing? We just gonna stretch the book of Esther all the way to Saturday afternoon. To be nailed to that sacrifice. Go ahead and get paired to the sacrifice. Y'all, you want to be separated and be nailed to this sacrifice? That's where you're going to get your respite and relief from. This goes back to, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and the testimony of which they held, because that is where they got their respite and relief from. But also, you need to understand this, that if it is of the will of Elohim for you to be saved, you are going to be saved. It does not matter if Esther was going to do it or not. Mordecai trusted Yahuwah enough to know that this is going down regardless. Haman is dying. And we coming up out of this. See, a lot of times we read the book of Esther, but we fail to pay attention to the high level of faith that Mordecai possessed. Do you know? Now, of course, y'all know who Esther's real name is Hadassah. But of course, y'all know when you get conquered by different people, they give you a name according to their names. That's standard practice. That ain't just no, oh, they got the Africans over here. Any race of people does that. If they conquer another people, they're not going to try to learn the language of the people whom they conquered. Your name was Billy, now something else. I don't speak English. I speak Portuguese. Your name is Louise. You came in here, Ron. Now you're leaving out Hong Wong. That's how they work. How that works. Now let's look at deliverance, because it's a different word than what you're accustomed to. What you over there laughing about, little bug? Deliverance is Hatsala, which of course is deliverance and escape. You have, hey, Sod, Lamad, and Hay one more time. That's Hay, Sod, Lamad, and Hay. Hay, Sod, Lamad, and Hay.
No, it's the orange.
Reveal the way of confusion.
To reveal the way of the son of Elohim. Let me show you the way of the shepherd. What's the way of the shepherd? What you got, that enlargement. Go ahead and get separated over here and get nailed up here on this day so you can get a little respite and relief so I can deliver you. It takes you back to he was tempted in all points like you are, yet without sin. So come on to this throne of grace so you can find help in the time of need. I'm mentioning all this because we need to not have any fear of Haman. And also mentioning you this because of I'm using the police part for a reason also. Because you're going to have people who are going to work for the beast and his government who are going to try to intimidate you and deny his name. What did we read in Revelation chapter 3 where he said you had a little bit of strength and you kept my ways and you have not denied my name. See, you're going to deny his name when you fear a man more than you fear him, or that you hold them to be more superior than you hold him. See, you have to be a man and you have to have the mind of a ruler. Men who have minds of a ruler do not see another man as being superior than him. If you have the mind of a ruler, that means you would have the mind of Mashiach, and you would know that the only person greater than you is your Elohim, which is the Father and the Son. So therefore, of course, you would bend the knee of your heart to them. You're not bound. See, that's what I'm talking about, because it takes it, I think it's in the book of Acts, where we say we bow the knee of our heart. See, when you see the police or you see white people of certain affluence, you're already bound the knee of your heart before you even have communication with them. That is a sign of an inferior mindset. That's the sign of a slave. That's the sign of a serf. That's the sign of a servant. That's not the mind of a ruler. You got to have a mind of a ruler. A ruler sees another man of another nation as his equal. You don't come into that situation, he the police, I'm a man, he's greater than me. You see him as a paid civil servant who is your equal. Because I'm a man, he's a man, and you're going to have a discourse with me accordingly as men, or I'm going to check you. And ain't no problem with it. See, you do it with proper and due respect. And you had to check a couple people, he did it with respect. See, most dudes don't know, because you're not raised to be men, you don't know how to check a man in a respectful fashion. You get emotional, feel like you got to get rude and belligerent. All you have to do is be assertive and respectful. Let's continue. For you altogether hold your shalom at this time, then shall enlargement and deliverance arise to the Yahudim from another place. But you and your father's house shall be destroyed. You know what that is? That's in that Proverbs. He said, if a man be to be delivered to be saved, and you withhold your hand, shall he not know? And who know whether you are come to the kingdom for such a time as this? See, that's another situation and circumstance that sometimes you don't even know that you were born for a particular time and purpose. Esther was born and placed in the spot that she was in for the specific purpose because Yahuwah already knew what was going to go down. The same way that Joseph was placed in Egypt because what they thought to do for him for evil was to save many souls alive. You will already know what's going to go down. That's why I say all things work to the good of them who are called by Elohim according to his purpose. He had purpose. And if you're called according to that purpose, then things are going to work out well for you. And ultimately, it's going to fulfill the will and purpose that Elohim purposed it and destined it to. That's what he told you in the book of Isaiah 46. My word will not come back unto me void. It will perform and prosper in the thing where I sent it to. And it doesn't matter if you don't want to do it, because he'll get somebody else to do it. But it's going to get done. See, that's what most people in this life think, that if you get removed, stuff is going to fall apart and it's not going to get done. That's when you have overinflated your value in the individual's life, that you feel like everything is going to stop because you remove yourself. And if you have that type of mentality that you would try to wield that type of influence over another person's life, you're an evil individual. You're selfish. You're destitute of any type of character or nobility whatsoever. And don't nothing good happen to individuals who do things of that sort. And one thing I know, the Elohim that we pray to and serve will make sure that your life will be a living hell until you expire. Esther bade them return. Mordecai this answer. Go gather together all the Yahudim that are present in Shushan and fast you for me. Neither eat nor drink 3 days, night or day. I also and my maidens will fast likewise. And so we go into the king, which is not according to the law. And if I perish, I perish. So Mordecai went his way and did according to all that Esther commanded him. Why is that important? Of course, if you see the 3 days and the 3 nights, you know what that fasting is. We talk about it during the Day of Atonement, and Yahuwah willing, we'll pick it up tomorrow from that point and make that do what it do. So hallelujah for y'all who shot in the word. I'll just bear with me because we taking a slow burn. Some of y'all used to like to put honey on your blunts back in the day so it burns slow. The Johnny look like he ain't know nothing about that trick. You ain't know about that? Huh? Ain't no rolling right. That nigga, he talking about he sniffed like he top knot with it. But yeah, we're gonna take our time, man. Roll through these points as we can roll through them to establish what we're here to talk about. But I bless y'all at the house all in the name of Yahoo. So I appreciate the time. You were willing, we pick it up at 7:30 regular time. And until that time, I bid you adieu. Yes, sir. You know what they do? You want me to come to your birthday? Well, why wouldn't you think that I would be there? Oh. Ain't I always there for your birthday?